What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
The Red Sox as cold as the weather. My name is Mike Petralia, joined by Nick Quaglia, following a 7-5 home opening loss to the Toronto Blue Jays. It was supposed to be a festive day, Nick Quaglia. The rings being handed out from the 2018 World Series Championship. That was great. Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman and Stephon Gilmore throwing out the first pitch ceremoniously, 3 at a time. That was great. There were a lot of great moments leading up to the first pitch, and the Red Sox do what they always do. Whether the Patriots have won the Super Bowl the year before or not, they make it a New England celebration, and they hit it out of the park here again on Tuesday. But then the game started, and I won't say it was all downhill from there, because Mitch Moreland gave the Red Sox a 1-0 lead with his 4th home run already of the season. He's been a bright spot in a 3-9 start. And then it was Dustin Pedroia grounding into a double play. The Red Sox had a 2-0 lead, but then Chris Sale couldn't get anybody out.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's the main concern with this team right now, because the offense, although there are some problems in the offense, I tweeted this earlier on, Mookie Betts, he doesn't look as aggressive as plate as he did last year. That last at-bat, there were 2 balls that should have been on Lansdowne Street that he just did not swing at. He did not pull the trigger. But overall, the offense has actually been pretty good, because they've been losing games. I think there was a score of 10-8. Their offense has shown up. The bullpen has shown up. Brandon Workman, Matt Barnes, aside from today, and Ryan Brazier have all been very solid. The starting pitching has been the biggest concern, and that's amazing, because when people were excited about the starting pitching staff, you look at it on paper, it looks good. It's almost the same one that you brought back as last year, if you want to count Nathan Eovaldi's bringing back, as he came in midway through the season. But they've been the biggest issue, and it comes right down to Chris Sale, too. Right down to Chris Sale. And overall, I was even a little speculative, I'm not going to lie, before the season. I've always been very wishy-washy with some of these guys. Rick Porcello, as great as he's been, he's gone on some really cold streaks. Eduardo Rodriguez, you never know what you're going to get out of him. Nathan Eovaldi, I didn't fall into that trap, and I'm not saying that he's going to be bad this year, but I didn't fall into that trap, that postseason romanticized thing where he pitched great in the playoffs for us. It was a fairy tale. He really leveraged himself, though, hard. Yeah, he did. It was a fairy tale ending for him, but people forget in September, he wasn't great. He wasn't great, so I think the starting rotation, it could be a real, not concern over the year, but it's something worth keeping your eye on, and it's shocking that they've been the biggest problem so far this year.
I want to go back to something you said at the start, because I asked Alex Cora this after the 7-5 loss to the Jays. Are you pleased with the competitiveness of your at-bats from your players? And he said, could be better. He said, could be better. There certainly are times where we're doing what we did last year. But then he told me, he said, there have been a couple of times this year where we let perfectly good pitches in the middle of the strike zone, where in years past, or in last year, we did damage. We heard that so often. This year, they're not doing damage. So, to your point, and Mookie Betts' last at bat, he looked like he was a little bit confused on what Giles was throwing him.
And that's tough to do, because Giles was not having a good day. He could not hit the strike zone to save his life. And when there's a fastball coming grooving down the plate like that, Mookie Betts has to take that over the monster, and you have to win that game on that pitch. And even that second strike, it could not have been a better pitch for him to take out. So, yeah, the aggressiveness definitely is down a little bit. And it looks like, and don't overreact to the statement, but it looks like the John Farrell offense, where it was take a couple pitches, get a feel for the pitcher, and then Alex Cora came in last year, and obviously he was like, guys, you get that first pitch, you take it to the moon. You do not let that first strike go by. You do not get down on the count. So I think that's definitely been a problem this year, and it's been with most of them. And Andrew Benintendi, him too, it seems like more of the young guys. Andrew Benintendi, he went on that little hot streak, but he seems a little timid at the plate. Mookie Betts seems a little timid at the plate. Xander Bogaerts, the same thing, but you look at the veterans, J.D. Martinez, Mitch Moreland, these guys look like they're still locked in from last year. So the offense, it will get better, because you know Mookie Betts isn't going to be this quiet. You know Andrew Benintendi is not going to be this quiet. The newly extended Xander Bogaerts is not going to be this quiet. Hopefully, they just have to get back into that groove of, we're going to take this first pitch if it's down the middle, and we're going to get on base quick.
This Fenway Report brought to you by the great folks at betonline.ag. Go to clnsmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50. BetOnline.ag/50 for a 50% cashback bonus on your first deposit. Otherwise, aside from Mookie Betts and aside from maybe the ups and downs that the offense have had, I think, when we take a look at some of the fundamentals, that's where I'm a little bit concerned about this Red Sox team, that they didn't come out of the chute looking like they were prepared. And certainly in 2018, what we heard a lot of at the end of spring training is we want to start winning these spring training games so it carries over into the regular season. That hasn't been the case this year.
And the pattern's clear. Last year, they dominated the Grapefruit League. This year, when you check the score when they weren't on TV, it was like they were down 10-4, 11-5 consistently all throughout the spring. And that's carried over into the spring. And things look sloppy, right down to Chris Sale today, home opener, letting somebody steal home. Between Jackie Bradley and Mookie Betts, this has been very irritating to watch. Jackie Bradley and Mookie Betts letting that ball drop between them in center field. I forget if that was in Oakland or Arizona. And then Oakland. And then the catchers, even Christian Vasquez, who is more known for his defense clearly over his offense, even he as a catcher has been very mediocre defensively. There's a lot of fundamental things and sloppiness that has to get corrected if this team wants to turn it around. Because as it stands right now, they are 6 games below 500. And for a championship team, I don't care about championship hangovers. I don't believe those exist. You got to come out firing. They talked a big game. We're putting the last year in the past. Then show us, because as of right now, they're not showing us anything.
It is 12 games into a 162-game season, so still very early. But what the Red Sox don't want to have happen is what happened in 2011 when they got off to a really slow start, had to get red hot, which they did, but we know how 2011 ended with the collapse in September. The Red Sox are looking for more consistency. How will they go about finding it?